In this video, you'll see common KERDI shower pan mistakes and how to avoid them. Unfortunately, homeowners and contractors install shower pans incorrectly, and this causes water leaks, ugly tile installations, and wasted time and money. Today, you'll learn how to avoid these common mistakes with a step-by-step plan, and in the end, your shower pan installation will be easier, waterproof, and ready for tile. The first big mistake homeowners make involves framing. If I see moldy or warped subfloor panels, I remove them, and the best way to do this is with a circular saw and pry bar. Then I inspect the floor joists. Floor joists should be spaced appropriately. For example, I normally want floor joists to be 16 inches on center, and they shouldn't have excessive holes or notches that reduce their strength. In addition, the floor joist should be level. I normally use the longest level I have for this. If the floor joists are not level, you should fix them. I sister new floor joists using 2x6s or 2x8s, and the new floor joists I sister using 3-inch construction screws staggered every 8 inches. The new joist should be level in every direction. This is critical for any pre-slope shower pan, and I'll explain why in a moment. Using the wrong plywood is another framing mistake that homeowners make. Normally, I use 23/32 or 3/4 inch plywood subfloor panels. This prevents subfloor deflection, which can cause KERDI shower tray leaks. I apply a 1/2 inch bead of construction adhesive to the floor joist, then I screw the plywood panels down with 2-inch construction screws. The screw schedule is very important. I add the screws every 4 to 6 inches along the perimeter and 12 inches in the field so the subfloor panel won't deflect. Then I double check that the subfloor is level in every direction. This is critical because pre-slope shower trays need a level subfloor to drain water. The next big mistake homeowners make has to do with customization. I always get asked, can you cut the KERDI shower pan to fit? And the answer is yes. KERDI shower pans can be cut to size within reason, but most people don't do this one critical step. And that first thing that I do when customizing KERDI pans is to cut off the perimeter. Specifically, I cut the first 3/4 inch of the perimeter off the shower pan. Here's the reason why. The perimeter is flat. I'll repeat that. The first 3/4 inch of the KERDI pan is flat, and this helps with the shower wall tile. I'll explain the importance of this in a moment. Once I cut the perimeter, I reduce the shower tray size accordingly. For instance, let's say I have a 48-inch wide shower pan that has to be 38 inches. I cut off both sides of the perimeter, 3/4 inch on the left and 3/4 inch on the right. Now I need to get the pan down to 36.5 inches in total. So I cut off 5 inches of the pan on the left and 5 inches on the right. This takes the shower pan from 46.5 inches down to 36.5 inches. And when I reinstall the 3/4 inch perimeters, that makes the KERDI pan 38 inches wide. Here's why this is important. This increases the odds of the perimeter being flat and level. As a consequence, it makes cutting the first row of wall tile easy. Ideally, you can score and snap the tile and set it against the floor tile with spacers. And this reduces the likelihood of having the scribe cut the tiles, which in turn increases your frustration and time doing the project. The second customization mistake has to do with extending the KERDI pan. I frequently get asked, how do you extend Schluter shower pans? Schluter shower pans are extended with dry pack mortar. For example, Mapei 4:1 mud bed mix. I recommend mixing the mud bed mix before setting the KERDI shower pan. I then mix Schluter all set and install the KERDI shower pan and immediately add the mud bed mix over the wet thin set mortar. That last step is frequently forgotten by homeowners, and the sequence is important because the modified thin set will bond to the wood or the concrete substrate, and in turn the mud bed mix will bond to the thin set. As a result, the mud bed mix and all set combination provide a strong method for extending the Schluter shower pan. Here's a bonus tip. Always allow the mud bed mix to fully cure. If you don't allow the mud bed mix to cure, it can cause the waterproofing to fail. The third biggest mistake homeowners make is with thin set mortar, and unfortunately this is probably the most common mistake. Invariably, I get asked, can I use Schluter all set for the shower pan? And the answer is yes. Schluter all set can be used for KERDI shower pans. In fact, I use it exclusively for setting KERDI shower pans. And here's where the details matter a lot. First, homeowners frequently mix all set to the wrong consistency. I always use the mixing instructions for setting membranes. For example, Schluter recommends 7.5 to 8.5 quarts of water for a 50-pound bag of all set. When you use these instructions, the mortar has the consistency of a Wendy's Frosty. By the way, I love Wendy's Frosties. Second, many homeowners use the wrong trowel size. Do not use the KERDI trowel. Do not use the Dieter trowel. Schluter recommends using a 1/4 inch by 3/8 inch square or U-notch trowel. Third, some folks forget to wipe down wood or concrete substrates. I do this with a damp sponge. This hydrates the surface and prevents it from absorbing the moisture from the thin set mortar. I immediately apply all set with the flat side of the trowel. Then I apply more thin set with the notched side of the trowel. And here's a huge tip. I hold the trowel at a 45-degree angle to maximize the notch size. It's best practice to apply the thin set parallel with the shortest side of the shower pan. This method allows the thin set notches to collapse and the air to escape via the shortest route. And as a result, the mortar will collapse and provide a solid supporting bed for the shower pan. The final step I take when setting the KERDI pan is to add cardboard on top, and then I walk across the span to fully embed the pan in the all set mortar. The fourth biggest mistake homeowners make with KERDI shower pans is waterproofing. It's revealing that people ask, do you need to waterproof a Schluter shower pan? Yes, the shower pan has to be waterproofed against the walls, curb, or bench. And there are 4 big errors that you can make during this step. The first mistake is using the wrong thin set mortar. I use either Schluter all set or unmodified thin set mortar to bond KERDI-BAND. This ensures my mortar will bond to the fleece on the pan, walls, and banding. The second mistake is mixing the thin set mortar to the wrong consistency. I mentioned this earlier when I was setting the KERDI pan. Well, I also use the mixing instructions for setting membranes for the waterproofing. This keeps my thin set hydrated so that it will bond to the fleece of the Schluter system. The third mistake is using the wrong trowel. I use the Schluter KERDI trowel when applying thin set mortar. This is specifically recommended by Schluter because it sets the trowel notch depth. If the trowel notch is too small or too big, my banding won't waterproof properly. I embed the banding and compress it typically with a 6-inch drywall knife, and the resulting thin set layer between the banding and the pan has the right thickness. As a result, it will gain strength over time and ensure the watertight performance of my KERDI shower pan system. The fourth mistake installers make is not using prefab corners. I use KERDI-KERECK inside and outside corners. I normally add thin set to the pan and wall, then I add my KERDI-KERECK inside corners, and then I add my band, my KERDI-BAND that is, so that it overlaps the corner by at least 2 inches. Never forget that 2-inch rule because that's critical to Schluter shower systems. I then use outside corners to waterproof the curb to the KERDI pan. The main point of my tutorial is that you can avoid KERDI shower pan mistakes with a step-by-step plan. So I hope you got that today. Now, if you're doing a bathroom remodel and you want more tips and tricks, visit homerepairtutor.com today. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.